karma, as I mentioned, karma means action, right? So we cultivate mindfulness, action of our body, and cultivate mindfulness of action of our speech, and cultivate mindfulness of action of our mind. So doesn't matter past karma or future karma, but now, here, generally speaking, we try to stay in present moment, right? As a Dharma, according to Buddha's advice that we practice mindfulness now and here, because now and here is the real thing. Now and here is the only thing that exists, because past is gone, future is not here yet. So then some people wonder, well, why karma? And just live in the present moment. But action, because every moment what we do, it has effect on our everyday, every moment, right there, right this moment, right? That's why meditate on karma. And also karmas are ripening all the time. So many karmas coming. Past life karmas ripening this very moment. And so good karmas are ripening, and then it is important, good to rejoice, appreciate life. Appreciation of life is extremely important. Rejoicing is very important, right? So if we appreciate our own life, appreciate our friendship, our family, our partner, children, and roommates, and business partners, or Dharma friends, appreciation is extremely important. Unfortunately, many people don't appreciate. They're always complaining and thinking about, don't appreciate. Appreciation is very important. Appreciating and rejoice. And and ripening all the good karmas, right? Appreciate. And then if we ripening some negative result of negative karma of the past, so then that's also important to recognize that, and instead of being sad and blaming to oneself, and to actually to take that as a purification and as a lojong practice. Tibetan word is lojong. Lojong means thought transformation or mind training, as you know that word, lojong. And so here is my bad karma. Now result of bad karma arrived. I'm sick and I got bad cold and I can't go to work for the next 2 days and so on and so on. So then you say to yourself, well, this is a purification. It's okay. I should just stay in bed, do some mantras, and drink lots of water. So okay, that's no problem, not bad. And so it's a purification, okay? And take it that way, and meditate on karma, meditate on mindfulness, and also to try to prevent karma, by cultivating mindfulness. Okay. So when I say ripening past life karma and purifying karma and preventing future karma, and that shows that means that karma is not fate. Okay. Karma is not fate. Some people think karma is fate. You can't change. That's not the case at all. And some people think karma means, oh, it's your fault. You are the blame. No, yeah, you could say you're to blame, it's your fault, but it's not like it's like you deserve it. It's almost like you are cursed, Some people say, well, that's your karma. It's like saying, that's your problem, I don't care. That's sort of rude, right? Not nice. And well, everything is karma, But karma as it means action, so we can purify karma. And how do we purify karma? So the negative karmas, non-virtuous karmas, can be purified by cultivating a virtuous mind. And we do all the purifications. So those I'm going to talk about later this afternoon and tomorrow. The inner foundation practices are a method of purifying the karmas of the past, present, and future karmas. Okay, so I will leave it there. The next outer preliminary practice, the fourth one, number 4, is concentrate, meditate on suffering of all living creatures, suffering of all living beings, suffering of all sentient beings. Meditate on it. And some people say, oh, I don't want to meditate on suffering. I got enough suffering. Why do I meditate on suffering? You know, I heard this word. Some people say, I got enough suffering. I don't want to meditate on suffering. Then how can I meditate? How can I practice Dharma if I meditate too much on suffering? Yeah, that could be a good question, right? But generally, meditating on suffering is not just because of me. You know, if you're thinking about me, my suffering, my problem, then then could be difficult, right? Because too much thinking about myself, and it's already difficult, and then you think about more about my suffering, become piling up on top of myself. I feel like overwhelmed. I can't even breathe. I couldn't even stand up. Too much suffering, right? You feel like you're buried under the rubble of suffering. And but the point of meditating on suffering is not just me. Meditate on suffering of others. Okay. And the meditating on the suffering of all sentient beings, suffering of human beings, suffering of animals, suffering of hungry ghosts, suffering of hell beings, beings in hell realm, suffering of demigods, and so on and so forth. Because meditating on suffering of other beings is the source of cultivating compassion. Suffering is cause of compassion. When you see the suffering, you see the refugees coming from Iraq, Syria, going over to Turkey and Germany or wherever they're going, drowned in the ocean, little toddlers and babies are washed on the shores, hungry and starving, and so many sufferings in the world, right? War zones, so many people suffering from disease, Ebola and so forth. And so then you feel like, I feel sorry for these people. I like to do something. I like to donate some funds or do some voluntary work. I like to do something. These people are really unfortunate, sad. You feel compassion arising. I know myself what it's like being a refugee, homeless, and no shelter, no place to live, running for your life, going over the Himalayan mountains. I was 11 years old when I fled from Tibet over to Nepal. We were chased by the communists, right? Bombing and airplanes coming, drop bombs. I can't even see anything like for hours. It's all covered with dust. We have to hide all day under the rocks and then walk all night, and then sometimes we end up the same place. All night walking, you're going around the circle of the mountain. We were here last night, next morning. And then you're hiding again under the rock. And so then we crossed the border to Nepal and then India, and I know what it's like being a refugee, right? And we were very fortunate because Nepal and India, especially Indian government, is so kind. They opened the door for all the millions of refugees. They still do that now, even now, after all those years. Refugees from Pakistan, refugees from Bangladesh, refugees from Tibet, refugees from Bhutan, and refugees from India is the land of refugees. And they have so much tolerance, And so I know what it's like being a refugee. So when you think about suffering of the refugees, and suffering from trauma and disease, and stateless, and so on and so forth, you feel like doing something. So compassion arises, right? So compassion is the essence of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Compassion is the essence of Buddha's teaching. Compassion is the essence of teaching of Jesus. Compassion is the essence of teaching of Krishna and Shiva and so on and so forth. All the deities and gods and saints and bodhisattvas and practice compassion. That's the essence. So in order to, this is the only way to develop compassion. We have to meditate on suffering. Don't think, oh, I don't want to meditate on suffering. I got enough suffering. That's kind of self-centered mind. It's all stuff, again, me, right? That's why some bodhisattvas, they say, okay, they take vows, say, I don't think about myself, and I think about others. If I think about others, I will be fine. I'm part of everything. There's no me other than, there's no me without others, right? And so if you start working on other people, then you are not excluded, because as soon as you're working, doing something for others, and you get the result, joy comes automatically in your heart. Oh, today I made a difference for someone's life, one person's life. I gave him a bread, I gave him a bowl of soup. This person is not hungry anymore today. Made a difference for one person, one day, right? So at the end of the day, you feel good yourself. That makes you feel very honorable person. You feel, I'm a spiritual. I feel good. That's happiness. That's joy. So I feel good. You actually gain more than the person that you give a bowl of soup. You got joy and happiness. The other person got a little bit of bowl of soup, and he's happy too. But so who's got who? Who's got more? Who's got less? What's the difference, right? That's why some bodhisattva says, I will take a vow. A bodhisattva, I will become like a dog and loyal to my friend or owner. I will become like the boat, carry everybody and cross the river or ocean. I will become like a bridge, let everybody walk over. I will become like a doormat. Everybody wipe their feet. I mean, that's hard one, right? And if you want to be a doormat, you should have a writing says, go away. I saw somebody got doormat, instead of saying welcome, said go away. It was a joke. So, meditate on compassion is essence of Buddha Dharma. So therefore, cause of meditation on compassion is meditate on the suffering of sentient beings. So these are the external, outer preliminary practice. Now I would like to talk about the inner preliminary practice. So in Tibet tradition, we have generally 5 foundation practice or Ngondro practice. Depends on the lineage, like Nyingmapa lineage, KAJVRzHlJZk lineage, Shakyamuni lineage, Gelugpa lineage. We have 4 lineages in Tibet. There's also another lineage called the Jonangpa lineage, and so on. Also, Tibet Buddhist tradition, right? And so these are the common ones. For example, the first inner preliminary practice is refuge, taking refuge. So taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha is not only Tibetan Buddhist preliminary practice, but it's all Buddhist and Theravadan Buddhist tradition, Mahayana Buddhist tradition. For example, in Theravadan tradition, you take refuge first. So I take refuge to the 3 jewels, triple gem. I say, Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, I take refuge to Buddha. Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, I take refuge to Dharma. Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, I take refuge to Sangha. I studied Vipassana meditation, Theravada Buddhism in Thailand for 1.5 years. I was in a forest monastery, trained myself as a Theravada Buddhist monk in Thailand. And so you recite the Refuge prayers and sutras in Pali language. So take refuge to Buddha as a example. We take refuge to Dharma as a path, and take refuge to Sangha as a spiritual community. First, the very first, we take refuge to Buddha. Buddha is a holy teacher and the founder of the Dharma, and not just one Buddha, not only a Buddha of this age, Shakyamuni Buddha, but previous Buddhas, and previously 4 great Buddhas, before 3 great Buddhas before Shakyamuni, historical Buddhas. Then there are many more Buddhas to come in the future. 996 Buddhas coming in the future age. More Buddhas to come on this same earth. According to Buddhist tradition, the earth is not going to end. World is not going to collapse. And long way to go. And this is the same earth. 996 Buddhas to come. 1,000 Buddhas coming on this earth in this age called Kalpa. This light Kalpa. Light Kalpa. Not dark Kalpa. This is light age. It is a Kali Yuga and wheel of light, Kala Chakra, but and so it is important to be optimism, and even though today there are so many problems in the world, but I think the world always had a problem in the past. We don't know. Long time ago there was no media, no television, right? No newspapers even. Long time ago. How do you know what's happening in Mahayana world, Aztec world, when you live in India or China? You don't know. So far away, right? And so many things going on like that, like in Egypt or so on, so history. So much happened in the past. So take refuge to Buddha as an example. So why do we take refuge to Buddha? Because there are different levels of Buddha, not just taking refuge to external Buddha, the historical Buddha, but all the Buddhas. Buddhas are everywhere. When you say, I take refuge to Buddha, you're thinking in your mind, traditionally we think about Shakyamuni Buddha, right? Many Buddhas. But actually, many Buddhas, countless Buddhas. We have saying in the Sutra, there is no place where there is no Buddhas. Buddhas are everywhere. Even on every atoms, every molecule, there is a Buddha. Every atoms, molecules, there is a Buddha everywhere. There's a Tibetan word, it says, dulchik tingna, dulnyi sangye nam. Dul means molecules. On one molecule, there are many Buddhas. So imagine, there's Buddha in a cup, Buddha in a glass of water, Buddha in a cup of tea, Buddha in his flowers. Buddha is everywhere. Now, what kind of Buddha are we talking about here? And the Buddha nature, Tathagata Garbha, Buddha nature everywhere. Because everything has the quality of enlightenment, cause of enlightenment, Buddha nature within everything. So we take refuge to Buddha as an example. And historical Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha and other Buddhas as an example, we follow the footsteps of the Buddhas. We cultivate Dharma. So historical Buddha Shakyamuni himself was a human being, and a real human being. He was a son of King Suddhodana and Queen Maya Devi, born in Lumbini, foothills of Himalayas. And 2,500 years ago, a little more than 2,500 years ago, he was a real human being. We are human beings. We have the same body. We have the same body. Not much change in the last 2,500 years. Almost none. Not much change. There's no time for evolution, right? And so Buddha got enlightenment in his lifetime. And many thousands bodhisattvas and mahasiddhas, lamas, yogis, yoginis got enlightened because of practice of Dharma. I can be enlightened. Right? So example, Buddha is an example. We take refuge to Buddha as an example. And we take refuge to Dharma as a path. Dharma is the path. Dharma is the real path. Dharma is like a medicine, supreme medicine. When we practice Dharma, it cures our mind, cures the problem of mind, and confusion of mind, delusion of the mind will be cured, purified forever. And Dharma is the pure and supreme medicine. And it's a path of enlightenment. We take refuge of Dharma as a path. Dharma is the real path. Dharma practice. Right? And so Dharma, the teaching of Buddha, three yanas, Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, practice Dharma, that's the meaning of taking refuge to Dharma. I would like to lead meditation on visualization of Shakyamuni Buddha as the object of refuge. So we take refuge to Shakyamuni Buddha as a Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And how do we take refuge to Buddha Shakyamuni as a Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? Shakyamuni Buddha himself is as a Buddha. We take refuge to him as an example by visualizing Shakyamuni Buddha in front of us. Then we take refuge to Shakyamuni's life and also the teaching that he gave in his lifetime for 46 years after his enlightenment. Buddha attained enlightenment when he was age of 37. Then he taught until he entered nirvana for next 46 years. And so all the teachings that he gave, all the sutras and tantras, these are the teachings, and we take refuge to as a Dharma. And also Buddha's enlightened mind, the qualities of the Buddha, Shakyamuni, is the Dharma. And so we visualize. Then Shakyamuni Buddha's body, the human body, as a bhikkhu, as a monk, as a teacher, great teacher, his body, physical body, we take refuge as a Sangha. And his presence in front of us is we take refuge as a Sangha. So Shakyamuni Buddha himself is Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, all three together. So at this point, I would like to ask you to visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front of you. We have a statue here on the altar. This is an image, and it shows you what he looks like, more or less, looks like, generally speaking. This is just image and statue, but it's a representation of Shakyamuni Buddha. So this is how we take refuge. Formally, like someone asks you, how do I take refuge to Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha? What do I do? What do I think? Do I think about the life story, or what do I do? So we need some practice, right? Practical things. You can so that you can become closer to Buddha as a holy teacher and object of refuge. This is how we visualize. So I like to ask you in front of you, not so far away, not too close, let's say about maybe 5 feet or 10 feet in front of you, a little slightly above you, maybe say roughly about 5 feet. You visualize Shakyamuni Buddha and sitting on a lotus and moon cushion in this spacious place. And he is called a golden complexion, and he sits cross-legged with the Vajrasana. His right hand is in the mudra of blessing the earth, and right hand is above his right knees. And left hand, he is holding a bowl with nectar inside, with the hand mudra of meditative echo pose, and he's wearing beautiful saffron robe, and he has a beautiful face, very peaceful, compassionate face, most compassionate, most peaceful face, and he's got very gentle and soft face, and also he's got dark hair and curly hair, and with the top knot, or in other words, light ushnisha on his crown, and you visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front of you first, and as an object of refuge.